So we're just about ready to get going. I'd like to invite you all to find somewhere comfy to sit. Like I say, if this is on your sofa, if this is on a yoga mat, on the floor, you might want to raise your hips up slightly on a cushion or a blanket folded up if you are seated on the floor. Also, if you want to lie down and really get into the relaxation part of the session, make sure you've got plenty of room to do that. And yeah, I'm very happy for you to keep commenting and sending hearts. I'm not, like I've explained many times now, I'm not sure how this Facebook Live thing works, but this is definitely the relaxation element, so I'm not expecting too much interaction. Definitely not for the first half. I'm going to take you through some breathing techniques just to slow your heart rate down after your day of activity. And we're going to do some guided relaxation. This is just to kind of get us back into our physical bodies and calm the mind, connect the mind and the body back up if you've been jumping around, if you've been singing, all the lovely sessions that have been on offer today. I'm sure if you have been taking part, you're feeling really good at this point. All your neurotransmitters will be firing up from all the physical activity that you've been doing. As I'm sure your instructors have explained, one of the many benefits of physical activity is it releases endorphins, which are painkillers. They're natural painkillers, so your body's probably feeling quite elated at the moment, unless you're a few hours down the line and now you might be starting to feel the pain. What we're going to be doing today is a mixture of massage and meditation. They'll be firing up some different neurotransmitters in your brain, and you'll start releasing serotonin and dopamine, which are the happy hormones and the ones that promote internal well-being. So I'm going to invite you all now, if you have got space to lie on the floor, to lie down. You might want a pillow under your head to support your neck. If you have any low back or hip pain, you might also want to put a cushion or pillow under your knees, and this will just flatten out the curve in your lower back and take any pressure out of that SI joint. If you're sitting, just rest your hands onto your knees, relax your shoulders away from your ears, close your eyes and just tune into your breath. So take an inhale in, not too deep, just your normal inhale in. Breathe all the way out, empty everything out of your body, all the air. And we're going to start by doing some belly breaths. So you might want to put your hands onto your tummy, onto the soft bit under your ribs. And we're going to start just by feeling the belly rise and fall. Rise as you breathe in, as you exhale. Feel it flattening down and feeling it rise as you breathe in and flatten as it goes down. And keep doing this breath just nice and steady. We're not going for big deep breaths. We just want to start noticing the parts of our body that the breath's filling. The expansion of the abdominal muscles and the contraction as you breathe out. Just nice and gently though. Letting the breath do the work. No holding tightness anywhere in the body if you can help it. So we'll just do a few more of these belly breaths in. Really noticing your hands moving as you breathe in and coming back together as you breathe out. Now next I want you to move your hands, if you can, up onto the sides of your ribs. And we're going to focus on pushing the air into this area of your body. You'll breathe into your belly first. And as your belly fills, you then want to breathe into the area in the bottom of your rib cage. So you've got all your lovely intercostal muscles that hold your ribs and help your ribs move as you breathe. And you want to be filling that chamber with air. So first of all, breathing into your lower belly and then expanding into your rib cage and exhaling out from your rib cage first and then all the air from your belly. And we'll just focus on this breath for a few more seconds. into the tummy first, then feeling your hands move outwards as your ribcage expands. Exhaling from your ribcage first, feeling your hands move back together, and then from your belly. And we'll do a few more rounds of breath like that. Really feeling the air fill from the bottom of your trunk, from the bottom of your body, into the mid part of your body, feeling your ribs expand outwards, and exhaling from your ribcage first, and then from your belly. Now the third part of this breath, I'm going to get you to move your hands up onto your upper chest. So your hands are just below your collarbone. And again, we're going to be breathing into the belly first, then into the mid-ribs, and then inflating the chest at the top. Exhaling first from the top of the chest, then from the mid-chest, and then from the belly. So carrying on this breath, belly, side ribs, upper chest to let the air out first, then the mid-ribs, then the belly. This is a 3-part breath that we're doing now. Breath is an essential thing that we obviously do all day, but having some control to our breath and some intention behind it has amazing effects on the body. If you've ever been in for a treatment with me before, you'll know that one of my things I say quite regularly is don't forget to breathe, because when we are going through discomfort, when we're feeling that mentally, emotionally or physically, we tend to hold our breath and we tighten up through our diaphragm, which is the big muscle at the bottom of the lungs. And by consciously using these deep breaths, this 3-part breath, we can start releasing through the chest, releasing through the diaphragm. It also slows our heart rate down and disengages the nervous system, allowing us to have full body relaxation with the control of the breath. So we're just going to spend a few more breaths, breathing into the belly, into the mid-ribs, into the upper ribs, and exhaling from the upper ribs, the mid-ribs and the belly. Now, staying with this breath, we're just going to do a little bit of work to check in to every part of your body. Now, whether you've been taking part in the amazing activities that are happening today, or you've been sat at your desk or kitchen table working, or you've just been living through 2021 and all its glory, we're going to be holding tension in different parts of the body. So before we do any massage work, we're just going to check in and see where we can feel the tightness in ourselves. So we're going to start at the bottom and work our way to the top. So first, I want us to send the focus into the tips of our toes. I want you to curl your toes in as tightly as you can. Scrunch them up as if you're making a fist with your foot. Hold it for another second. Breathe in, and as you exhale, release your toes. Next, we're going to move up to the plantar, which is the base of your foot. Here, I want you to flex your toes in towards your body, so pull them in as tight as you can towards you. Take a big breath in as you pull in, feeling that stretch down the bottom of your foot. And as you exhale, release. Let your foot go floppy. Your ankles might want to drop out to the other side. As you're releasing the muscles of the feet, you're also helping the Achilles tendon, the big tough tendon at the back of your foot, release. So just letting your ankles fall out to the side. If they still feel a bit tight, just windscreen wiper them in and out. If you are sat up, you can just kind of point and flex as best you can. Maybe make some little circles with your ankles and then let them flop outwards. Moving up next, we're just going to touch base with your calves. I'm sure with some of the more rigorous activities you're doing today, there's some tightness in the calves. You can always also feel this as we're all doing a lot more walking now. I know it's become most people's social activity. So it does take a lot of impact through these big muscles on our lower limbs. So just focusing on your calves, take a breath in and tighten them up. Isolate the calf muscle. You might need to flex your toes back a bit to do this. You might feel a bit of pressure in the lower part of your knee, but just breathe through it. Take another big inhale in, really feeling the tightness in your calves from your ankle up to the back of your knee, and on an exhale just release. Feeling those big strong muscles that do so much with the really tight fascia that we're always working on in our massage sessions, letting them relax. Next we're going to work up to our thigh muscles. These are the front and the back. We have two big groups of muscles at the top of our legs. We're going to contract them both at the same time. So you want to feel a pull up from the top of your knees up to your hips, to your groin area. You feel tight. If you can isolate this muscle and really tighten it in, squeeze as hard as you can. And like I say, you will feel the pull up from the top of your knee. Breathe in, take a big breath in, and as you exhale, release it down. Now we'll be able to hit your hamstring muscles and your glutes at the same time. You would have hit your hamstrings a bit when we did the front of your legs, but now we're going to tighten up through your glutes. So clench your bum cheeks in, tighten them up as much as you can. You'll feel your pelvis tip up slightly towards the sky as you're clenching. So hold that in, really breathe in, feel all the tightness you can in these amazing huge muscles that keep our lower back supported and keep us sat upright all day. So just squeeze them in, and as you exhale, just release. You should feel a nice opening across the front of your hips. When you're working your glutes, you're also pulling in your little hip flexor muscles at the side. So by tightening them up, you're also releasing this and allowing the front of your body to open up slightly. Next, we're going to come up to our abdominal muscles. Again, these are a really important muscle. For soft tissue therapists, I'm always encouraging people to work on tightening this area, as it really does help support your spine. So just having the feel of having that part of your body engaged is really important. So if you take a big breath in, fill up your belly like we were at the start, and as you exhale, really force the breath out and tighten in. Feel the muscles pull in almost like a corset, pulling in at your waist. And try and hold it there for a few breaths. You will feel the breath will probably only want to come into your chest, but just hold that in. Take a few breaths, inhale and exhale. Take one more inhale in, and as you exhale, just release. Let it all go. Let this area relax. We're then going to work to tighten up the chest, the pectoral muscles. This is a muscle group that does get tight, especially for all our office workers and people who work at computers. There's often quite a shortening in this front area of the body when you're bent over working on a keyboard during the day. So take a big breath in. As you exhale, really feel the top of your chest contract. Feel it pull in. You'll feel a pull from under your armpits as you tighten here. Again, hold it for a few breaths. Really pull in. On your next inhale, push the air out as much as you can, and then exhale to relax. Letting the upper body melt down. Really feeling your shoulders move backwards. If you're lying on the floor, you might be able to feel the tips of your shoulders pressing into the mat a little bit more. Then I'm going to activate the upper back and the top of your shoulders. So to do this, we're just going to lift the shoulders up towards the ears. You can do this while you're seated or lying on the floor. So take a big breath in, pull the shoulders up to the ears, really feel the tightening at the top of your back. Squeeze your shoulder blades together slightly down your back. Again, we're just going to hold this for an inhale and an exhale. One more inhale and really pull the shoulders up to your ears, and exhale, you can sigh it out. Let it all go. Feel your neck grow about 2 inches in length, and really feel again that release of your shoulders down and back. Last one we're going to do, and I hope that everyone's got their eyes closed now, because I will be demonstrating on the video if people are watching back. We're just going to tense up all the muscles in the face. So taking a breath in and squeezing the face as much as we can. So tightening the jaw, squeezing the eyes closed, feeling the pull from all across the back of the scalp as you tighten every muscle in your face. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Take one more breath in, squeeze as tight as you can, and relax. And the last part of the body we're going to do is just the arms. So bringing our arms into fists at the sides of our body, or on our knees if we're sitting up. Taking a breath in, and as you exhale, clench your fists as tight as you can. Really feeling the tightness in your forearms and your biceps. Hold for a few breaths. Take another big breath in. As tight as you can. And as you exhale, let your arms flop down to the side. At this point, if you're lying down, you should feel every muscle on the back of your body relaxing. You should feel your head hanging heavy on the floor or the pillow. If you are sat up, you should just feel the muscles letting gravity pull them downwards. All the muscles of your back relaxing around your spine. Your shoulders move far away from your ears, hopefully at this point. We're just going to take a few breaths and enjoy the relaxation of working through every muscle in the body. So just big inhale in. As you exhale, just feel even heavier in your seat or on the floor. Focusing back on your breath now. You can return to that 3-part breath to bring some more focus. So inhaling to the stomach, the mid-chest and the upper chest. Feeling the rippling effect of breathing into all 3 chambers of your body and exhaling through each one separately. Now we're going to move into the self-massage section of the session today. I am going to take off my hoodie so I can show you a little bit more the muscles that we'll be working on. You can leave your jumper on, it's absolutely fine to do this through clothes. I just want to be able to demonstrate a bit more clearly the muscles that I'm talking about as we're working. So if you are lay on the floor, very, very slowly just start moving your fingers, moving your toes, having a wiggle, and slowly roll over onto one side, coming into kind of a fetal position, and just gently using your top arm to push yourself up, keeping your eyes closed. If you are seated as well, just starting to wriggle your fingers, wriggle your toes. If you've got sitting cross-legged like me, you might want to stick your feet out and have a little wiggle if they've gone numb. And very, very gently opening your eyes, coming back in, looking at my fabulous costume change that's happened while you've all been relaxing. And we're going to come into the little self-massage part of the session. Definitely should have turned my paper over while you all had your eyes closed. So we're going to start just by bringing a little bit of flexion into the spine. It's a move that you've probably done a few times throughout the day if you've been participating in classes, because it's a favourite of yoga teachers, Pilates teachers, all fitness instructors. And we're just going to do a little bit of cat-cow, but we are going to do it seated. So sitting up nice and tall, resting your hands on your knees. We're going to start by taking a breath in, and as we normally do in this position, pushing our chest forward and creating an arch in our back. So inhaling in, really arching your back, and as you exhale, bending your elbows, contracting through your tummy muscles and hunching your shoulders over. So it's breathing in, pushing your chest out, If you have it available to you, you can lift your chin up towards the sky. However, if you have any neck or shoulder problems, just leave that part out. And as you exhale, tucking your chin in, drawing in your abdominal muscles, rolling your shoulders forward, bending at your elbows. So just again, I can probably turn around and show you from the side what it would look like. So as you breathe in, arching your back, pushing your chest up towards the ceiling, straightening your arms depending on if you have long enough legs to do that or enough flexibility. And as you exhale, tucking your elbows in, arching your spine over and pulling in through your abdominal muscles. Okay, so just do one more round of those seated cat-cow flexions. They're really good to do throughout the day if you sat in an office chair. It really hits as many of the vertebrae of the spine as possible, and is pretty much available to everyone depending on your mobility and your fitness level. Most people can access that particular move. So we're going to do a little bit of self-massage for the neck and shoulders. We could spend all day doing self-massage, but we have to take the part, and this tends to be the bit that most people find tension in, and it's also the most easily accessible part of our body so we can all reach. So we're going to start, I'm just going to get a hair bobble so I can tie my hair back out of the way so you can see even clearer what I'm doing. We're going to start with the trapezius muscles. Now these are big wing muscles that kind of connect from your upper mid back and come out over the top of your shoulders here. So by working the trapezius in this little soft part in between your shoulder and your neck, we can actually get quite a lot of relaxation over the whole top of your back. So your trapezius muscle is in this fleshy part here. So I'm just going to show you, it's just in this part here. We're going to use our thumb and our fingers. So you might just want to use thumb and forefinger, or you might want to use 2 or 3. It's up to you for your mobility. Now at this point, if you have got a cushion available to you, I would bring it in and you can give yourself a little bit of extra support. I'll use the bigger one. So we're going to pick a side to work on first. I am going to do my right side, which is your left. Is that right? I don't know. Pick a side, it doesn't really matter which one you pick. Get the opposite arm. So I'm going to use my left arm to massage my right shoulder. And we're going to use our right arm to support the elbow of the left arm. Now this is where the cushion may come in useful, because you could rest your right arm on the cushion as well, so you've actually got no weight pulling that arm down. Now using your thumb, you want to find this little soft part here, which is just above your clavicle. Your clavicle's your collarbone, so you should all be able to feel that, I hope. And using your thumb in front, so at the front part of your body, and using the fingers over the back, we're just going to gently squeeze in and release, and squeeze and release. Now you can work all the way down this soft part of your shoulder until you reach the bone at the end, and it's just squeezing for a few seconds and releasing. Now you'll probably find some tight spots while you're doing it. If you come to a point where you think, oh yeah, that's a bit, you'll know when you feel it. You can hold for a little bit longer. So if there are any bits that are juicy and you can feel that there's some tension there to work through, instead of squeezing and releasing, just squeeze and hold for 5 seconds, 10 seconds, and release. And like I say, you work all the way from the base of your neck out to where the bones of your shoulders start. And this is entirely up to you how much pressure you put through. You'll never be able to put enough pressure through that you should hurt yourself, but if anything becomes uncomfortable, just back off, take it down. You want to, not have pain. You want a discomfort level of about 5, and that should be throughout all of these different massage techniques that we're doing. You never want to feel like there's any pain. So once you've done your right side, we're going to switch over and do the other side. So again, we're going to use the right arm to massage the left side. So use your left arm to support the elbow of your right arm. And if you have a cushion available to you, you might want to rest the cushion on there. The opposite elbow on there. And the thumb is going to come into the soft part above the clavicle, above the collarbone. The fingers are going to go behind, and you're going to squeeze and release, and squeeze and release, coming all the way from the base of your neck, covering the whole soft part of this muscle. If this is really uncomfortable for you, you can drop the ear of the side that you're working on. You can drop the ear towards the shoulder, and that'll soften the muscle a bit more, so it'll make it easier to put pressure through. While your head's up straight, these muscles are quite engaged. By moving your ear down towards the shoulder, you're disengaging the muscle, so you might be able to you might find that it's a little easier to work on. So the next muscle we're going to be working on is the scaly muscles. These are the muscles that come from behind your ear and connect to the trapezius muscles in the same area. So again, by releasing these, you're going to get a really nice release through your upper back, through your shoulders, down the sides of your neck, and also probably into your jaw a bit as well. So to find where the muscles are that you want to use, you want to turn your head to the side, and you can see on me that there's a muscle that's popping out there. So if you turn your head to the side, you should be able to feel where that muscle's kind of popping out. If you can't, it's fine. Just don't press in. If you stop yourself from breathing, you know you're pressing in the wrong place. Otherwise, you've got 3 big muscles down the side of your neck, so as long as you're hitting one of them, you'll be fine. And like I say, we're only going very gently, so don't be putting a lot of pressure through it. So again, the way to relax this muscle to make it easier for us to work on is by dropping the ear down towards the shoulder, so you're disengaging these muscles again. Again, you might want to use your opposite arm to support, so you're taking the heaviness out of this arm. So with your ear dropped down towards your shoulder, you're going to just use your thumb and your forefinger to apply very gentle pressure down the side of your neck. So I'm doing it without supporting my arm, just to show you, and it's just thumb and forefinger and very gently pressing all the way down till you reach the crease of your neck. And as we did on the other side, if you find any tight spots, just squeeze it for a few seconds longer. And what you're hitting there is trigger points, something that I could talk about for hours and hours and hours. But those little tight spots where you're like, oh yeah, got my finger on something there, that's a trigger point. And all you need to do is kind of get your brain to realise that it needs to send a little bit of blood there, and it'll help release the muscle. So we're going to do one side with your elbow supported when you've worked your way all the way down the neck crease. Simply just swap sides, so you're going to drop your ear down towards your shoulder on the other side. Use the opposite arm, you can have your hand to support, and just starting behind your ear, gently squeezing all the way down the side of your neck. Taking it nice and slowly, and like I say, if you find any little points, then that means you've got to stop there and hold it for a little bit longer. So I can feel always up behind my ears, some really juicy bits, and it's always really nice at the end of the day or in between seeing clients. I like to do this just to help release my neck, because we've all got really big heavy heads, not just me, and we do get quite a tight neck. So once you've worked your way all the way down to the neck crease on the opposite side, we're just going to work one more area of the neck, which is a suboccipital, which is basically where your skull joins onto your neck. So the way to do this is we're going to be using our thumbs. So we want to spread your hands nice and wide, rest your fingers on the back of your head, and put your thumbs into the crease around the bottom of your skull. So you'll be able to feel it. It's the bit at the top of your neck where your skull joins on. And with our fingers on the back of our head, we're just going to use the thumbs to gently push in and pull slightly up. Now you want to be putting such light pressure through this area because it's going to be tender on pretty much everyone. Unless you've just come from having an amazing massage, it's probably going to be quite tight. So starting again behind your ears, into that little crease which is your occipital, you want to be pushing in with your thumbs, so pushing in gently and gently pulling upwards. And working from behind your ears all the way in to your thumbs meet in the middle. Might be easier for you as well if you slightly dip your chin and it just opens up that area a little bit more. But again, be careful of your neck. Our necks are quite hardy, more hardy than I think, but you still don't want to be jarring them in any way, especially on cold evenings like this. Once your thumbs have met in the middle, we're just going to get probably my favourite trigger point on the body, which is the little dint in the middle. So we're going to use our middle fingers. I'll make sure they're turned the right way to the camera. So using our middle fingers like that, and we're going to put our middle fingers to meet in the there's a little crevice, little like notch at the back of your base of your skull, right in the middle of where your thumbs would have met before. And you're just going to use your middle fingers, let your elbows come out to the side, and using your middle fingers just find that little spot. They'll be touching in the middle, and then ever so gently just lean your head backwards. And like I say, it's one of my favourite trigger points. I tend to do it at the end of pretty much every massage. Even if you've come in for a leg massage, I'll still get this trigger point before you leave. So just letting your head tip slightly back towards, looking upwards towards the ceiling. It'll vary on every person how much you want to tip your head back because it is quite a tender one. And then very gently just bringing your head back up so you're looking straight ahead. And we've got one last little bit to do, which is dead easy for the self-massage, but it's so nice to do when you've been sat all day without moving your upper body very much. And it's a technique that I teach quite a lot in practice. So it's just to release the chest and the upper arms, and you can do it on your forearms. And it is just simply use your opposite hand, open palm, and we're just going to brush. So just using a brushing motion, you can do it over your jumper, over your t-shirt, directly on your skin. You're not putting much pressure through, and you can do your chest, all across your chest, all down your arm. You can do your forearm, and then I'm going to swap sides, and like I say, it's just open palm. And what you're doing here is just releasing fascia. Fascia is the bit that holds all your muscles onto the body, onto the skeleton. So we're doing that, and then if you're feeling up to it, you can use the tips of your fingers like this to do some little tapping motions. And again, you can just do all of your arms, your chest, all down, both sides. It's really nice. It's lovely to get into your pectoral muscles up here doing that. So then give it all a little shake out. And we're just going to really finish with just some neck stretches, and then I'm going to let you all get away. But it's always nice to just finish, and I always like showing people neck stretches because everyone gets a stiff neck from time to time. So what we're going to do, really basic ones, you've probably seen them before, but I'm just going to talk you through how to do them properly. So the thing to always remember with neck stretches is keep your shoulders still. So I like to do them in front of a camera, never, usually in front of a mirror. So You might not be in front of a mirror at the moment, but it's good to remember for next time, or if you can get in front of a mirror, even better. And keeping your shoulders level, you're just going to dip your ear down towards your shoulder. So it might not go very far, you might only go to here, but what you don't want to be doing is that. You want to be keeping your shoulders really level, and you should feel this pulling from your jaw down the front part of your neck. So you're coming, it's this anterior scalene that it's hitting. If that feels alright, like you can manage it, you can use the hand, your opposite hand from the side that you're stretching, and just put it on your ear and let the weight of your arm pull the stretch even deeper. And you want to be holding each stretch for at least 10 seconds minimum, probably up to about 30 to get a good stretch. Once you've held that for 20 seconds, we'll go for 20. We're then just going to turn the head to look down towards your opposite knee. So we're angling the head more on a diagonal, and you should feel this stretch at the back of your neck and across the top of your shoulder. And again, if this is working for you and it feels fine, use your opposite hand to just, now what you don't want to do is pull, you just want to use the weight of your arm to gently let gravity work even better. So you're looking towards your opposite knee. When your head's in this position, we're just going to take the opposite hand and just use it to gently bring your head back up to centre. And then we're just going to do the same on the other side. And again, dropping your ear down towards your shoulder, feeling the stretch from your jaw down the front of your neck, holding it for about 20 seconds. And I've just realised I've really gone over, my clock's on its side. And then turning to look down towards your opposite knee. And using your hand to bring your head back up the centre. My clocks fell over and I've ran really over, so thank you for bearing with us. For someone who doesn't like the sound of our own voice, I've managed to run 10 minutes over. So happy International Women's Day to you all. Thank you so much for joining, thank you for taking part, thank you to Active Newcastle and This Girl Can for having us all. There's loads of fantastic women, especially in the North East, and I'm glad that we've put it on a platform so everyone can engage. I'm based up in West Denton, and you can find us on Facebook and Instagram. Sports and remedial massage therapist is what I do for my day job. And yeah, nice. Thank you all for joining. I've got a little heart. I think that's made it all worthwhile. So thank you very much, and I'll let you all get away now.